Well, I'm back with the racism roots, part 2. This is why blacks hate whites. Why do black people hate white people? Now, let me put a disclaimer. I always have to do this because people don't, and forgive me that I didn't put the disclaimer out on part 1. Because, man, you wouldn't believe how I was attacked in that last video. People told me that I should go back to Africa and that, they used some language. You hear me? They used some language and they let me know that I was some racist bigot. And, the reason why I did why whites hate blacks first is because so many people think I have something against blacks. And I get the word all the time, you hate your own race. You're talking about your own race. But you know what? It draws out of the flesh that hostility when people get to see firsthand what's really on the inside. That hostility is brought to the surface. And so many people, and now I'm not just talking about any people. I'm talking about people who say they believe in God, who use profanity and cursed me. They wish I would die. No, they truly believe in God. I really do believe that. But the problem is they don't know what their flesh is capable of. And so that hatred comes to the surface, and what else can you do? So I want to give some information on why blacks hate whites now. We've talked about why whites hate blacks, but now we're going to discuss why blacks hate whites. Now, there is something that goes on in the DNA of humanity. And most people, look, if you know the Bible, you should take your time, be patient, put on some discernment, and become more spiritual. Be quiet and listen and see what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Because if you don't, you're going to react, and you're going to react from your flesh, not the Spirit. So when it comes to our DNA, when we're born into this world, we're born into sin. But most people don't understand that people have a nerve substance on the inside of them. Their DNA, they have a nerve substance in there, and that nerve substance causes them to think that they live a life that they never lived, but their progenitors lived. I got that from an author, actually. In other words, black people think that they have lived in slavery. I'm talking about young black people that has never seen the face of slavery. They think that they lived in slavery because their progenitors or their ancestors did. And so it causes them to walk around with the disposition because of the deoxyribonucleic acid. That's the DNA. That's a scientific term for DNA. They walk around with this attitude as if white people are the enemy and white people are the devil. So what do black people think? Kill the white man. They don't care if every single white person on the face of the earth falls dead today. And it's a reason why. And guess what? As I said in part 1, this reality is a reasonable reality. It's a reason why people are like that. Now, I'm not going to go into the lesson right now. As I said in the first video, I'm doing short videos because it would be too much to put in one large video. And people won't listen to it all anyway, but you wouldn't imagine how people react. Now, I've done this video in the past, why black people hate white people. And you know what? I had a response and a reaction from a lot of people who consider themselves white that said, you know what? Thank you for telling us that. Thank you for giving us that information. Or I really want to know. I need you to tell me that. But when I did a video why white people hate black people, those same people that talk like that said, oh, you're a racist bigot. You're not supposed to talk like that. Oh, you need to go back to Africa. You're the worst. And we don't hate black people. We just wish they would stop being lazy. Man, I tell you, that flesh is a mess. And everybody has flesh. And we either live after the flesh or we live after the spirit. And most people live after the flesh. The majority of people in the world, I'm not just talking about people in the world who don't believe in Jesus Christ, but people who are born again. They go to service every Sunday. They say they love everybody, but the Spirit. So a born-again Christian, a pastor who has gone to theology, they have all the knowledge, they can stand up and say, I don't hate black people. I just wish black people would get a job and stop blaming white people. You just came out of the flesh. Why? Because you consider yourself white. And if you consider yourself white, that's what you're going to do. But why do black people hate white people? Now, again, when I was in India, it was one story. It wasn't race. And look, if you'll just go to some of my former videos, go and look at my page, you'll be slow to speak and quick to hear. You won't be so quick to bash me and jump on me. But when I was in Africa, now wait a minute, I've been on quite a few continents here. And when I was in Africa, I didn't see the same response between black and white. Now in America, most people in America have not been outside of America, so they react to situations based on their circumstances, their surroundings. But when you get out and you go and visit other nations, it's different. So when I was in Africa, I saw the blacks oppressing the whites. It wasn't the same. I saw the black police officers who were, they were so evil and wicked against the white man. But you know what? Because people don't see that, they don't know how to react to that. And so why do black people hate white people? The same reason white people hate black people. Somebody said, you can't generalize. You can't put everybody all in one pot. And I'm a white man and I don't hate black people. As a matter of fact, white people, I don't like them. I like black people more. Look, don't take things so personal and be offended so quickly without just listening. And I can tell some of you don't read at all. Not only do not some of you read, but some of you just, I won't even go into that conversation because my time is already so long and drawn out. Look, I just wanted to say that about why black people hate white people. And black people don't care if white people fall off the face of the earth. Now, if you consider yourself black, I understand how you're feeling. But Jesus Christ is here to save you too. Just like he's here to save that white man. Jesus Christ wants to save us all. So I'll be back with some more realities on the racism roots and why we have so much racism going on. Look, I love you. It's grace and peace from me to you. I don't want anything but good for you. And look, I'm not offended with all of those negative comments coming at me. You're not offending me. Trust me. I've heard worse. If you go to my page and look at the picture of me and my wife, you wouldn't imagine what me and my wife go through, not only in America, in Mexico, in Canada, in Europe. We've been through quite a bit. So I have a little authority to speak about this issue. I love you, bless you. Stay tuned because I'm going to be back with some more. Love you, friends.